Oh my goodness, sorry, I keep getting interrupted. All right, so we've got, this is number 3 still. So we figured out that our y-intercept was -3 by plugging in 0 as our x-coordinate to find our y-coordinate, and that's gonna be where our y is on this linear equation. So now I'm going to go ahead and plot this one on here. So it's 1, -1/2. So it looks kind of like this, right? And now I'm gonna go ahead and find one more ordered pair because I don't like to use decimals when finding the slope. So I'm gonna use 2 because it looks like this is gonna go straight through 2 right here. 2 is my x. So -6 times 2 plus 4y equals -12. -12 plus 4y equals -12. Add 12, add 12. So now we have 4y equals 0. So y equals 0. So then that's going to be right here. So now I'm going to use these 2 ordered pairs to find my slope. So m equals, I'm going to use this as 2, and this is 1. So 0 minus -3 over 2 minus 0. So m equals, these become a positive, over 2. So m equals 1 1/2, or 3/2. All right, let's do this one. Okay, so our equation is 5 times x plus 3y equals 12. Okay, so let's find our y-intercept. Let's be smart about this. I'm going to be smart about this one. Find our y-intercept by making x be 0 first. So our first ordered pair, I'm going to have x be 0. So 5 times x is 5 times 0, which is 0. So my equation is just 3y equals 12, divide, divide, and y equals 4. So my y-intercept is 4. So it's going to be 0, 4. So there's going to be my first ordered pair. Now I'm going to plug in another one. And you can really just do anything here. I'm going to do 2 and see how it goes. And the reason why I keep saying see how it goes is because sometimes you end up with a fraction or a decimal, so it's kind of hard to plot it, but it still can be put on here. So 5 times 2 plus 3y equals 12. 10 plus 3y equals 12. Yeah, I think this might end up being a fraction. So y equals 2/3. 2/3. So if I have 2 and 2/3, that's about right here. All right, it does look like this might go straight through 3 and -1. So I'm just going to try that to see how that works. So 3 as my x, just because I want to get 2 sets of ordered pairs that are whole numbers. I mean, you can easily do the work with fractions. It's just easier not to. All right, so I have 5 times 3 plus 3y equals 12. So 15 plus 3y equals 12. Subtract 15. Subtract 15. So 3y equals -3. Yeah, that one worked nicely. Y equals -1. Okay, so now I can use these 2 ordered pairs to find our slope. So m equals, I'm going to say this is 2 and this is 1. So -1 minus, oh wait, I want to use these 2. So -1 minus 4 over 3 minus 0. So m equals, this is just adding a negative, so -5 over 3. The slope equals -5/3, or you can convert that. So -5/3. Let's do one more. All right, x plus y equals 3. I like the simplicity of that equation. All right, so I'm going to solve for my y-intercept first. So I've got x plus y equals 3. So my x is going to be 0. So 0 plus y equals 3. So this just kind of cancels itself out. So what is y? 3. So my y-intercept is 3. It's right there. So then I can plug kind of anything else in. I'm going to use 1 because I know it's going to give me a whole number. So 1 plus y equals 3. Subtract, y equals 2. Okay, so that's 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So it's a negative slope. And now I got to solve for slope. M equals, I'll say this is 0.1 and 2. So 2 minus 3 over 1 minus 0. M equals negative 3 over 1. So the slope is negative 3. Negative 3. Wait. Why does it say slope is negative 1? So my cheat sheet says the slope is negative 1. So I'm going to go back here and check this. So if this is y1 minus y2 minus y1, and then I'm going to try this. I'm going to reverse it and see if I can get it to work. I'm going to say this is 1 and this is 2. So negative 3, or this is just 3. Right? Yeah, 3 minus 2 over 0 minus 1. So that's, oh yeah, it does work. 3, negative 1, it's negative 1. How did I get that before? I don't know. All right, so your slope is negative 1. I don't know where I got 3 before. 3 over 1. Oh, no, it was negative 1 over 1. Okay, yeah, so sorry. The slope is negative 1. All right, so go ahead and do the rest of these on your own on this page, and then on the next page you can do, why don't you do the evens, just to switch it up. You're obviously welcome to do the odds too, but I think if you can show that you can do just these 4 and then the 3 from the previous page, I think you'll be all set. All right, word problems. This stuff is tough, but it's basically taking that slope equation, which is just it's just a way of writing a linear equation. You can find an equation for these word problems. So let's take a look at number 1. It says, suppose that the water level of a river is 34 feet and that it is receding at a rate of 0.5 foot per day. So receding means getting lower, so we're taking away. Write an equation for the water level L after D days. How many days will the water level be after 20? How many days will the water level be 26 feet? All right, so we are taking our equation. L is going to equal water level, right? So we need to think about, where does the water level start? 34 feet. And it's receding a certain amount, right? So we're going to take away 0.5. And that's every day. So we're going to multiply that 0.5 by the number of days we're talking about, okay? So we need to figure out how many days will the water level be 26 feet. So how long will it take for the water level to get to 26 feet? So we kind of got to guess and check here. So let's do 7 days, okay? So if I do the water level equals 34 minus 0.5 times 7 days. So this would be water level equals 34 minus 3.5. So that's not going to get us to 26 quite yet. So let's try 10 days. All right, so then that will be 5, right? So 0.5 times 10 is 5. So if I subtract, I'm at 29 feet. So let's keep trying, and let's do 12. So that's going to get us 6, and that'll get us at 28 feet. So we're not quite there. Let's do 14. So that's 7. And that would be 26 feet. So for this one, I just had to keep plugging something in for the days until I got to what I wanted. Level equals 26 feet. And we know that's going to take 14 days. So that's actually our answer, 14 days. All right, so for this next one was really tough. And for this one, I was able to kind of use this right here. The L equaled our Y variable. That was like this, 26 was our Y variable. And, which I should have written that there, 26 is what I wanted, our target. That was our Y variable. And D, this part right here, was actually our slope, right? I'm sorry, that's our, this right here, our X variable. So that's why like that Y and the X, those are the variables. Those are the ordered pairs that you can interchange. 34 was my Y-intercept. It was kind of like the point on the Y-axis that like never changed, like it didn't go anywhere. And then this 0.5 is our slope. This is how it's going to change over time, right? It's the direction it's going in. All right, so let's do this one. For this one, I could not figure out how to use this equation for it, but I did figure out the answer, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. So it says Seth's father is thinking of buying his son a 6-month movie pass for $40. With the pass, a matinee costs $1. So if you buy the pass, you still have to, you pay the $40, and every time you go, you still have to pay $1 for a matinee. But if you don't buy the pass, you have to pay $3.50 for a matinee. And so what this is asking is how many times must Seth attend in order for it to benefit his father to buy the pass? So basically, like, if I buy this pass, how many times do you have to go for me to like break even or to make it actually worth my money of not buying the pass? Okay, so what I did here, let me see what I did. I did $40 divided by 350 minus $1. Okay, and I'm not quite sure why I did this, but basically what I figured out is that $40 divided by 250 equaled 16. So he has to go 16 times to pay or 16 times for it to be even. So basically, if I did 40 plus 16 times the $1, that would equal $56. And then if I did 16 times the 350, that would get me $56. So if I go 16 times and I pay $1 every time I go with the pass, I'm going to have invested a total of $56 in my movie going, right? But if I don't buy the pass and I go 16 times, at $3.50, I'm going to still be paying $56, right? So how many times do I have to go in order for it to be a benefit? I have to go 17 times. Because if I go 17 times, 40 times, or plus 17 times $1 only equals $57. But if I go 17 times at $3.50 a pop, that's going to be $59.50. So I have to go 17 times for it to be a good deal for me. So I'm not quite sure how I figured all that out or how that equation comes into play. That's the only one I couldn't figure out using the equation. So let's take a look at number 3. For babysitting, Nicole charges a flat fee of $3 plus $5 an hour. So this $3 is going to be the Y-intercept, and the $5 per an hour is going to be my slope, because the $3 is kind of just like where I'm starting at, and the $5 per hour is the change. And then my Y and my X are the variables of what happens. So the Y is going to be like the total cost, and the X will be the number of hours. So write an equation for the cost C after H hours of babysitting. So C's my Y, and H is my X. So what do you think the slope and the Y-intercept represent? How much money will she make babysitting 5 hours? So C equals, I do my slope right here, $5 per hour plus my base, my Y-intercept, okay? So we know that C is the cost, H is the hours, this 5 is going to be my slope. 5 equals slope, because it's going to be the one that changes or is affected. And then my Y-intercept is 3, because it's like the base. It's like where you start, and then you can figure out where to go from there. And so the last question is, how much is she gonna make after 5 hours? So the cost equals 5 times 5 plus 3. So the cost equals $28 for 5 hours. All right, number 4, a plumber charges $25 for a service call plus $50 per hour of service. So this is really similar to this one right here. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the cost C, that's our Y, and after H hours, that's our X, those are our variables, so those are the things that can change. What will be the cost of for 8 hours of work and 10 hours of work? So I've got C equals, this is how much I just charge up front. So that is my Y-intercept. And then this $50 per hour is going to be my slope. So C equals 50 times H plus 25. And then when they want to know about 8 hours. So C equals 50 times 8 is 400 plus 25. Cost equals 425. And this is for 8 hours. And then for 10 hours, so C equals 50, H plus 25. So C equals 50 times 10, which is 500, plus 25. The cost is $525. All right, number 5. Rufus collects 100 pounds of aluminum cans to recycle. He plans to collect another 25 each week. Write and graph the equation. I'm not going to graph it, but we just write the equation for the total pounds P of aluminum cans after W weeks. So P is our Y variable and W is our X variable. Those are our ordered pairs. Those are the things that can change. What does the slope and the Y-intercept represent? How long will it take Rufus to collect 400 pounds of cans? All right, so let's write in our equation. We're doing P equals, our slope is going to be the increase, right? So it's weeks and then 25 pounds each week. So 25 times W plus the 100 that he already has. That's our Y-intercept because it's the one that's like staying the same. That can't be changed. So then so we know that 25 is our slope. This is our slope because it's what can be changed. And then this is our Y-intercept. Intercept, because it's the point that's on the Y-axis that's not going to change. So then they want to know how long is it going to take me to collect 400 pounds? That's our P, right? So I can just plug that in. 400 equals 25 times the weeks plus the 100. So I subtract the 100 because this is really what I want to find out. How long is it going to take me to collect 300? So then I divide 300 by 25, which equals 12 weeks. It's going to take me 12 weeks to collect another well, to collect a total of 400 cans, right? All right, last one we're gonna do together is number 6, canoeing. So a canoe rental service charges $20 transportation fee. So basically, we'll meet you at the lake and we'll bring that canoe for 20 bucks. And then for every hour that you are riding in that canoe, we're gonna charge you $30. So write a graph, we're not gonna graph it, an equation representing the cost of Y of renting a canoe for X hours. What is the cost of renting the canoe for 6 hours? All right, so we've got Y for renting a canoe. So this is the total cost equals 20, or this is the slope, $30 times X plus the Y-intercept, 20. And this is, so 30X is our, or the 30 is our slope. So it's what you can do or how you're gonna change this. And then 20 is just that solid, that's what's gonna, like, that's your base, like that's what you're starting with. So if I just plug in a number, but I know I'm gonna go 6 hours, so I'm gonna plug in that number, times 6 plus 20, Y equals 180 plus 20, so Y equals $200. So it's gonna cost $200 to rent a canoe for 6 hours, because you gotta pay that $20 up front. That's like your rental fee, or just what they're charging to get that canoe where it belongs or where it needs to be. And then for every hour, you're gonna be charged $30. And so if you're out there for 6 hours, it's gonna be a total of $200. All right, so this is tough work, but this is like the stuff that really shows like your thinking and how you're organizing these ideas in your head. It's one thing if you just know the equation, it's a whole nother thing if you know how to apply it. So you're gonna go ahead and do these on your own, and when we Zoom, we'll go over the answers. Sorry that this was so choppy, but every time my phone rings or something happens, the video stops. Enjoy.